So it's Saturday morning here in sunny Scotland, so that means we're back with another developer stream recap for Marvel's Avengers. So I changed the format of this video last week and I got a lot of good feedback on the back of it, so I'll continue to do that same format. So the format with this is, first off we jump into a recap of the stream that was posted on Reddit. We'll very quickly go over that and I'll give my own thoughts on it there. And then from there I've got lots of clips I've taken from the stream, so rather than it being an hour long stream you have to watch for all the juicy gossip, I've cut it down to around about 10 minutes or so it is jam-packed full of new information. So let's jump in. We'll start off with the recap that was on Reddit first. So this recap, as always, comes from the awesome Billy B311 on Reddit. He actually does this recap after the stream every week, so I'll drop a link to that particular post, so make sure to drop by and hit an upvote and leave a comment for him as well. But to run through this then, so the patch is coming next Tuesday, so that's the 18th it's coming. It will have some fixes for cosmetic bugs and a gamma nerf, I say. Or it says a gamma nerf, it's not a nerf, it's a fixed, because the gamma damage is massively broken at the moment, and then calling it a nerf isn't really fair. You can one-shot enemies with a gamma tick, so it's most definitely broken. There was no MCU skin revealed today, but from the roadmap we can see that really going forward throughout the roadmap they're always going to be looking to introduce MCU costumes on a regular basis. The Red Room takeover has lots of new hazards. I'll show off some gameplay from it later. There's lots of different layouts. It's very difficult. It's not just a recoloured harm room, and it's most certainly not. The mission chains will reward some great gear, big XP rewards, upgrade modules, polycoron and a team animated nameplate. Personally, for these events, if they're going to be relatively sparse, I would like to see some costumes thrown in as well, but the XP rewards will certainly be good for the champion system going forward. It'll make them feel more like an event if you can jump in and you can gain a lot of champion levels. The next line we have here is that they're not character specific. This relates to the Red Room, but the narrative is focused on Black Widow. They've also mentioned it's focused on Yelena Belova, but they wouldn't be drawn on whether or not we'll actually see or hear from her at all. They showed a clip of it. I've got a clip of that I will show later on. Red Room takeover being single player gives them more design choices. It wouldn't work with 4 players, and that's fair enough. From the gameplay that I've seen, I think it would be a bit too chaotic with 4 players there, but of course I want to see multiplayer content going forward, but we've got the mega level threats for that. They've done an overview of the champion system. Once again, I'll have a clip for that. In the chat they mentioned that Spider-Man is still coming in 2021, so he's not been delayed any further than that or anything like that, but nothing more on him. And then finishing up here, gear will be dropping less often, but what does drop is much more valuable in the next patch, so you won't have as many of those useless blues dropping. That's absolutely awesome. Absolutely despise doing a run, and actually when I done the Hawkeye RNG is too high video, I calculated it and roughly 75% of my drops at challenge difficulty 4 were actually blues, so it's fantastic they're not going to be dropping as much there. So that's the recap by Billy. Once again, drop by and give him an upvote. So what I'll do from this point now is I'll play all the different parts of the stream, and I've added one little thing where I'll give a title to each of the sections so you know specifically what they're going to talk about before they're actually doing it, and there's timestamps for the different sections below. So enjoy this and thanks for tuning in. Stay safe and drop a subscribe and a like as well, and I'll see you all again soon.
Leading into all of that, I guess you could say, we do have a patch coming next week, and some of the fixes in it include Hulk's tropical outfit's gonna have the flowers, Hawkeye's Counter Earth outfit is gonna have his mask, and Widow's Outrider outfit is gonna have her glasses. A few other things, we are, Gamma was a little stronger than we had initially intended, so there's gonna be a fix for that next week. I'm not going to necessarily call it a nerf because, it wasn't really supposed to be as intended as that strong. But it is going to be tuned down so that it can just be in line with everything else. I think a lot of people just to make it more fair, I guess you could say. What is the Red Room takeover?
The Red Room takeover, yeah, that's a great thing. We're really, really, really pumped about this. So, as everybody knows, we've started to do events in the game, which we're really excited about that we're starting to do those. Starting with our Tachyon event, and then there was Sky Protocols, and now we have next out of the gate is our Red Room takeover. So this is building upon the storyline that we were starting to set the narrative there with the Sky Protocols, where the Red Room itself is, I'm not going to give away too much of it, but again, it's being taken over, if you will, and it's become more deadly than ever. And so what's happening here during this event, running, I forget exactly how long, roughly about 2-ish weeks or so. We just got to confirm the dates there. But that comes online real soon. And it's a whole bunch of unique content for the harm rooms. In fact, 5 unique harm rooms that players have never seen before. And there's a lot more to it than that just being red. There's some really cool new hazards, some techno lava, other hazards that players haven't seen before. And it's actually really challenging content. And in particular, this content is about you going in. The layouts are completely unique, unlike some of the other harm rooms. So you're going to get a different experience, something you haven't seen before. And it really mixes up the gameplay in there, where a lot of it is trying to stay on the platforms, not only yourself get knocked off, but also to push the other enemies into the techno lava. Is a faster way to defeat them besides having to take them down normally, right? So it really mixes things up. And it's actually really interesting too with flying. You're like, oh, well, I'll just be a flying character. Well, wait a second, not so simple. The flying characters can just as easily get knocked out of the sky and get thrown over into the techno lava as well. So it's probably best to keep your feet on the ground, or at least to be flying over a platform at all times. So that's really, really exciting as players are going to progress through this content, go through these new challenges, experience the harm rooms in ways they hadn't before. But on top of that, there's some really great rewards too. So as the player is progressing through the various mission chains throughout the event itself, you're going to get some great gear rewards, similar to like we had in the Tachyon event, which is great if you're focused on one hero or you're trying to get some great gear for some of your other heroes as well. On top of that, there's going to be some big XP rewards for the first time in the event, and that will definitely help with our champion system we'll talk about in a little bit. So that's a great way to get some more advancement there. Then also, once you get to the end of the system, besides the gear, you get, again, another huge gear windfall for your characters, a huge XP drop, and a quite fair amount of upgrade modules and polycorn as well. So there's a lot of great rewards. And of course, the animated team nameplates that have been so popular with their player base as well. Those have been going over really great. We've had a lot of really good feedback. So there's quite a few things for the players to do this time with this unique content. And again, this team nameplate and this event, these red rooms are only available during this event, right? So if you want to check them out and play this unique, different style of gameplay, this is the time to do it.
Question is, why not make this permanent?
Oh, again, we wanted to make sure there are events specifically. That being said, let us know what you think about it, right? If if you feel important, like, hey, I love this. It was so much fun. I'd love to play more of this content or have more of this available all the time. Please let us know, right? But that's kind of inherently one of the goals with the event content, right? Is it's active for a period of time. There's a great opportunity. We also, give away much larger than normal rewards for participating in the events as well, right? So you're really encouraged in multiple ways to engage with the content while it's there. But again, the future is not set in stone. We'd love to hear what everybody thinks.
Let's just get straight to it. What can you explain the champion system to us, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. So the champion system is something we've been working on for a while now. And at its core, what we're trying to do is make sure that experience always matters to players, right? Because right now, when you get to level 50, right, okay, I've maxed out my hero level of this character. You're still progressing your gear and your power level, but all of a sudden, experience stops becoming a resource that's really part of your core loop or your decision-making process. So the champion levels system, what they do is they expand that. So as soon as you hit 50, you are now converting your normally earned experience points into champion experience points. And this has a very long tail. It's a very long system. And again, it was meant to make sure that players are being rewarded for their time, their investment, whether they're focused on a bunch of different heroes or focused on a core hero. We always want to make sure you feel that your time, however you're choosing to engage with the game and the content, that you are getting, a valuable progression towards that dedication. So as you advance in your champion levels, you'll see your nameplate will change. Your XP bar will go from the normal white XP bar, it will change to a gold XP bar. So you see that you are advancing champion experience points. You will not just display your hero level on your nameplate, you also see your champion level on the nameplate as well. So again, it's not just for yourself to know, but everyone on your strike team and your friends can also see, oh wow, I have a Hulk that's, this champion level, or oh, my Captain America is this champion level, right? So it's really cool that people can see how dedicated you are to the various heroes and characters that you're playing. And not only are that, as you advance through the champion levels, you will earn champion skill points. Right, so this is another tab area in the hero menu system, similar to skills and masteries. Now there's another section for champion skill points. Specifically, you need champion skill points in order to spend here. You can't use normal skill points, right? That's a whole new post level 50 system. And as you collect them, there's a whole set of trees for the characters in which they can get additional bonuses and benefits to them. And again, this is not a system where you have to pick and choose, and you can actually unlock everything on the entire system. It would take you a very long time to do that. Again, it's meant to be a very long tail system. So players are always rewarded for the time that they're spent playing in the game.
And is it the same amount of champion experience every single time?
No, it goes up, right? So whatever you need to go from champion level 1 to 2, it will require more experience points to go from champion level 3 to 4 or whatever.
So J Controverse asks, since we are getting stronger with the system, are there plans for enemy difficulty to increase?
That's a great question. We've been assessing, as you all know, looking at all the different aspects of the game and how can we make Avengers even better, right, than where it is today. And certainly looking at not just our heroes, but also the enemy encounters as well is definitely something that we've been talking about. I know in particular our designers who are focused on the enemy creations, and the villains and all that, they have a lot of awesome ideas and a lot of things they want to go to as well. They're not here today to talk about it, but there's a lot of exciting stuff coming down the pipe. So nothing to announce today, but absolutely not just the heroes, but the other side of the coin, the enemies that you were fighting against as an adventure is very important to us.
Okay, so there are a few gear drop changes coming with the patch on Tuesday, right, Mike? If you can talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things, again, like I said, we're really looking at all the aspects of the game in terms of how we can improve it, how we can, take the game forward and really respond to make it a better experience. And one of those was some of the gear progression in particular, and some of it dropping in that sense that players really probably won't notice that much of a change themselves when they're playing it, not noticeable, but there are some behind the scenes happening where a lot of the gear that was dropping that was not valuable to players, right? They were never going to equip it. It wasn't equal or even better than what they had. It was just kind of in the way. Less of that will drop now. And then more of the gear that players do want is going to start dropping now throughout their journey. So that ultimately that means a few less things will drop from moment to moment, but the things that do drop will be more valuable. And through a lot of play testing and feedback internally and different people, we realized this should be a much smoother, much more enjoyable progression as you go through, leveling up your gear for your heroes.
But the next thing that we're gonna talk about are Heroes Catalyst. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, along the same lines like we're talking about as players are progressing or advancing, one of the systems we're going to be adding to the game is a consumable system. And there's lots of great stuff with that. And in particular, what we're coming out of the gate first is we're going to give players, give them access to what we're calling the Hero Catalyst. What the Hero Catalysts do is when you consume this item, it's going to give you a boost to XP. However you are obtaining that, and this would stack with your quick match, XP bonus, so forth and so on. And really our goals here is we really want to give players, alternate ways to advance their, the other heroes in the roster so they can get higher level up. Because as you know, if you're playing with friends, but if you're playing with companions, if you selected a companion that you've leveled up and unlocked more skills, the companion can now use those skills. And now use those abilities as well to help you. Also, some of the other more challenging content, right, a more roster-focused content like the Mega Hives where you need multiple heroes, right? It took a while to necessarily get those heroes up there. So we wanted to give players a way to get there easier, to make that path a little bit smoother for them. And we're going to be starting with next week as well, one of the free item giveaway next week. We're going to give players one of the Hero Catalysts for free. To everybody out there. And it will, and like I said, it will be I believe it will last 3 days once you activate it, and you get a 50% XP boost when it's activated, which is really exciting. I would recommend it stacks really well with the Red Room event and those amazing XP drops you're going to be getting there. So that's a little pro tip on how to really maximize your time as well beyond quick matching. And we're also looking, Andy, beyond giving them away for free, we're looking for other opportunities in the future to make them as earnables as well through different systems. So that's something we're also looking into.